Now for the forces here of Kislev. I like the build, but I don't like the bear. I feel like the bear is like giving Khorne a fighting chance. We do have light war sleds, backed up by a heavy war sled and a patriarch for the healing. Now again, I think that the elemental bear is a bit of a mistake, but Kislev has a good enough matchup here that I think they can get away with it. The bear might actually surprise me. I would actually love to be surprised by the dreaded bear, but in this case, I do think the bear is a bit of a liability. Now looking around at Khorne, what they're going to do is they're going to park one halberd on the back, which is going to be super tough to remove, and they're going to fight over the middle. That is the Khorne nature of the beast. Maybe use some fleshhounds to contest objective number 3. We will have to see. I kind of rhymed a little bit. That was kind of cool. But the Exalted Bloodthirster and the Cultists making their way over. Halberd's going to be waddling up. Man, Khorne warriors are so slow, but I guess they have got some big armor, and these boys are extra thick. Anti-large, armor piercing. The Bariat squad is moving down. And the Exalted Bloodthirster certainly going to be good against the bear. The bear, their melee defense is super low. So they just get kind of beaten on by these big monster fighters, right? Cultists of Khorne are also a really good answer on foot against the Bariats because they don't take too much damage in melee. I mean, they do over time, but they have silver shields too. So Xiphos can use those silver shields to absorb the ammunition, which is quite a good feeling. Now, I would like to see one halberd being sent to the back objective. I think that is perhaps the right play because with the summons in the middle, you have enough buffering here. The Khorne dogs are kind of drifting about, and it looks like the Exalted Bloodthirster are going to be moving in. And are the Cultists actually going to get a free hit here? You can see they're taking basically no damage, which is very, very cost-effective for Khorne here. Like, the fact that the value is even right now is a huge win for Khorne. Xiphos with some really good control, obviously able to juke back and forth. We see one halberd unit maybe making its way towards the back objective. A little bit hard to say. You got to plan ahead with Khorne for sure, because they're very slow, and you want to get ahead on points, because oftentimes Kislev will outvalue you. Xiphos, in the meantime, just wasting the ammo. He's using his cultists to juke the shots of the chariots, which I think is quite good. Over the course of a long battle, those chariots often do go through all of their ammo, so I think that's an incredibly solid play there. Pulling back the halberds, trying to stay out of line of sight. The bear is moving up. There is no lord for Kislev. The bear is the lord. So if you want to get the penalty for killing Kislev's lord, you're going to have to go through the bear, which is pretty hilarious. Now, what is Xiphos saving for? He has not summoned anything. He's sitting on 1700. Kislev is going to summon Armored Kossars, which is very standard to just go hold the back objectives while your Bariat squad just causes problems. Ooh, Minotaurs of Khorne with great weapons. This is a pretty alpha male play. Granted, I do think these units are very overcosted, but in theory, if they can get on top of those bear sleds, they can do a ton of damage. And yeah, having your cultists take this hammering isn't that big of a deal. But eventually, you are going to have to play the middle objective. Now, Kislev does have some shooting coming in, so we have some basic Kossars and Kossars with great weapons making their way down towards the middle objective. I think the halberds are going to need to move on it. You can't let Kislev get that far ahead on objectives. And the Minotaurs of Khorne are basically just waiting for the objectives to open up. That's kind of what's going down here. I do think that pushing up here for Void is a mistake because you're extending into Khorne's deployment zone, which means that they're going to be getting the faster reinforcements. And that is something Khorne can kind of falter on, is the reinforcement rate. So Cultists have taken a little bit of HP. Like, yeah, 600 value for Void, but like the ammo that's been lost here is definitely not good. It hasn't done that much damage. In the back, I like this play. Xiphos using the Fleshhounds as well as the big Bloodthirster to kind of pressure in while the Cultists just, you know, cause a little bit of a distraction here. And the Halberds are now moving towards the back objective, I think. Fury's flying across as well. And the two Cultists could fight the Elemental Bear. So nice little charge there, but you're going to want to retreat. You have already forced a response. You've gotten the Kossovite Dervishes to commit back here. I think pulling the Fleshhounds back and the Greater Demon back here is probably the right play. We'll have to see. And look at this, the Elemental Bear is kind of being surrounded and beaten on. Fury's blocking the bear from escaping. We do get the two Cultists getting some nice damage on it, but the bear has great mass and is able to escape here. Greater Demon, probably going to want to withdraw. This is not a place it wants to be. Pull the Greater Demon back to the middle. This play overall from Xiphos was pretty cool. It baited the Kislev army over here, and if this demon can kind of get away without taking too much more damage, I think it could be very, very worth. Middle objective going to be going to the forces of Khorne now. Minotaurs are moving in. Cultists are fine, and it looks like the Greater Demon has gotten away, and honestly, those Khorne dogs have done a good job. They have triggered the passive here on the Kossovite Dervishes, so they're getting some decent melee attack into the chariots here. And the big demon is pulling back, and the overextended Dervishes now are going to be attacked by some Khorne dog reinforcements, while Khorne is going to be grabbing the objective, and this is such a good play from Xiphos. He is basically dropping a Bloodletter Summon, which is going to block up this entire force from getting back to the middle objective, giving him a 2-to-1 cap. I love this back pressure, though. This is really cool, because it's putting Kislev in a weird position where they kind of have to, like, defend this, but also can't really truly go for the middle. This is a very, very solid play here. Very, very solid play. So here comes the Fleshhounds of Khorne once again engaging to the chariots, and the big demon also going to be piling in. Will he get some good attacks? We will see if he can actually connect with the bear sheds, bear sleds, bear sheds. No, it's basically like a shed on its back. And he does take out one of the sleds, no, but he does quite a bit of HP damage. I don't like the double Bloodletter summon. I think that's overkill. I think just buffering them off is a good play. And the Greater Demon probably going to want to pull back. Look, this objective is owned by Kislev, but actually the Forces of Khorne have a little bit of capture weight going here. Now up here, Winged Lancers battling against Khorne Dogs, but the Winged Lancers did miss their charge, giving the Khorne Dogs the advantage, and the Halberds are now moving up here. So this blockade tactic, I think, is very strong, but Kislev still does have its objective here, so value is very much going to be on the table. And Khorne is trading pretty evenly. Minotaur is going to be moving across to attack the Kossovite Dervishes. More and more Halberds kind of coming from the back lines, which is, I think, quite strong. Dervishes here, about broken. The Armored Kossars, their passive has been procced. The Bear Sleds, obviously very, very nasty. The Exalted Demon of Khorne fighting a great fight. And the Cultists are also getting a good pin. So he is keeping the fight away from the objectives, while the Halberds and Khorne Dogs over here continue to trade very, very evenly. The Winged Lancers are being forced back. This is definitely some of the better Khorne play I've seen in this matchup. It is a very, very tough matchup. And this bear might actually be paying the iron price. It's taking that whip right in the face from the Exalted Bloodthirster. And the Cultists and the Minotaurs of Khorne with their anti-large bonus really dropping some big shots. But so too is the Demon. I think withdrawing from the Demon at this point, getting him back, having him kind of patrol the middle and just secure that is going to be the right play. Let the Minotaurs of Khorne and your Cultists just kind of blob by right here with the Khorne Dogs providing a little bit of support. And where are those Halberds going? The Chaos Warriors are moving back here. The big demon still has 2600 HP. So use the demon in safe engagements now. You want to move him over here and attack the Winged Lancers and the Kossars. Now for Void Lulls, I mean, he is still ahead on value. He's got good healing, a nice summon of a Snow Leopard here. I think that's really, really quite incredible. Snow Leopard's going to be an excellent tool against the Minotaurs, and the Minotaurs of Khorne might have been one of the main blunders that Xiphos has made this game. That is a big investment. That could have been more warriors just tar-pitting objectives. I think trying to fight on Kislev's spawn point here is certainly cute, but you're taking a lot of damage on that Bloodthirster. He's being focus fired by the Chariots, who are just basically in guard mode, ripping shots into him however they can. And yeah, Halberd's having an excellent trade against Winged Lancers. I think that if you're Khorne, you got to fall back and just defend your objectives at this point. I think fighting in the danger zone here is not the way. Two Cultists doing great, though. Really, really tar-pitting the Elemental Bear. Currently, Kislev is up quite a bit. Going for this back objective feels risky. Like, it's kind of trickling in a little bit. Khorne Dogs here, though, getting excellent trades. Halberd's getting excellent trades, too. There's so many good ones. These Halberds need to fall back, though. Fighting these Kossars with the great weapons up here, I don't think is going to be a good trade for them. Halberd's obviously not excellent here, and now they're retreating. Xiphos makes the correct decision, as Void Lulls is really summoning quite well. Summoning out the Snow Leopards, I think, is an excellent play. They're going to be a very difficult unit to remove. The trading for Khorne did go well, but that's what happens when you extend into somebody's deployment zone and you fight in their territory. You're giving them a big advantage, whereas fighting in the middle is a little bit more even. But Khorne is still threatening the back objective, right? They have Halberds back here. Halberds will probably take out the Snow Leopard. Bloodletters appear to be moving back here. Definitely need to get some Halberds down here. And what will Khorne be summoning? Minotaurs, I think, were a big blunder. And that could be the one variable in a very, very tight game that could cost Khorne the match, is the Bloodletters. Basically, what you need to do with Khorne is you're probably going to be losing in value most of the time, although maybe the Halberds get it. The two Cultists can be unsummoned and resummoned in to come and support the middle. Halberds up here, still running and trying to stuff the Kislevite summon zone. Bloodletters here getting absolutely wrecked. Really nice play by Void Lulls. He gets his chariots disengaged, and he just runs over the infantry that are really vulnerable to it. Definitely need to see some Khorne Dogs, and we do get the Khorne Dogs coming in. So Khorne Dogs moving in to slam jam, space jam into these guys. But good retreat from Void Lulls as he is able to retreat. Halberds are now on the objective. That is going to make it exponentially harder. And look at this. Khorne is actually threatening the back objective despite being down on value. The decision-making from Xiphos has been really good. The Bear Breath coming in, not quite able to do it. I think if Kislev loses this objective, that could potentially be a game-losing play. The value is really going up, and he is sending Griffin Legion in there, but these are Halberds. And the Khorne Dogs, if they can keep the Griffin Legion off the objective while Khorne captures it, that could be a victory for Khorne, honestly. That would be really, really tough. He's so close to capturing it. The Kislevites are running on. They're almost at the edge of the objective. One more tick is going to go down here, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Kislev is probably going to be able to hold it. The Cultists of Khorne moving on to the objective, but the thing about this is it's forcing Kislev to send reinforcements here, which means they're not addressing these objectives as much. Nice attempt here by Void. I do like the back cap here. He's moving the Kossovite Dervishes onto objective 1, which is going to force a response from Xiphos. It looks like it's going to be Chaos Warrior Halberds going back there. But Xiphos is rapidly approaching the point where he might be able to win this by just holding one objective. That is really the dream for Khorne in this matchup. Minotaurs of Khorne actually finally getting a good engagement. They're able to beat down many of these chariot units, and Kosovo dervishes do take like 45 minutes to capture an objective. So those halberds should be able to get back there. This is a huge surround for Xiphos as well, as the Chaos Warriors of Khorne get a big beatdown on the huge healing magnet here. So the Patriarch is certainly having some problems, while the French champion continues to contest this back objective as well. The Khorne dogs and the halberds trading very well, and I think the weak link here for Void has been the Elemental Bear. That's really been kind of the bane of his existence here, just not very useful, whereas if he had more sleds or more infantry, I think he could have contested the objectives a little bit. Now, this is a good play. This is such a good play by Void. Using the chariots to keep the halberds from getting to the objective is so solid, and the capture weight is going up for him, but the Chaos Furies of Khorne probably will push off the Kosovo dervishes, but again, their leadership, because of the Kislev passive, is going to keep those bad boys fighting for quite some time. Now, the back objective is still actually being threatened by Khorne. Those halberds back there doing some excellent work. The middle objective, very solid for Khorne. They have halberds here, and Kislev is threatening the back objective. They do have the chariots. Okay, this could be a game changer, because suddenly they could end up with a 2-cap, and Khorne is kind of stuck in the middle. Although the Minotaurs are almost here, halberds need to get on that objective, because this is a huge cap for Void Lulls. The Kosovo dervishes are down. The Minotaurs do have some capture weight. Xiphos is moving Khorne dogs back here, I think. No, he sends them back to the middle. Halberds need to get on top of the objective. Oh man, the infantry are just now getting on. Is it going to go to the forces of Void? I think there might be enough halberds on that it's not going to be enough, because infantry have huge capture weight, and look at that. Oh my god, that was so close. The Chaos Warriors of Khorne, they get the objective back in the 4th quarter, and I think that maybe seals the game. Because if that had been taken by Kislev, I think that gives them enough buffering to maybe work some value plays. The Heart of Winter did go down here to take out the halberds here. And on the back objective, these Khorne Warrior halberds fighting like absolute champions, absolute champs. The Elemental Bear roaring, probably only accruing like 500 value. Okay, I guess I was wrong. 2,400 value on the Bear, certainly at least paying for itself. But positionally speaking, I'm not a huge fan of the Bear. Maybe it has been good, maybe it hasn't, but I could be wrong. So, here we have it. Fleshhounds of Khorne battling against the Kosovo dervishes. More and more Fleshhounds. Bloodletters moving up. Horn of Khorne is active. Minotaurs still going like champs, man. How much value have these guys got in this game? They've gotten over 1,000, not quite paying for themselves, but it looks like Xiphos, the champion of French Warhammer here, going to be coming in with the reverse sweep, losing the first 2 games in a really decisive fashion. One with Cathay, looking like he was going to be on the fence, but overall here, proving that he's got some serious chops, winning with Slaanesh, winning with Kislev last game, and now winning a hard matchup that is actually favored against him with Khorne. Because I don't think there's any way that Void's going to be able to come back. Victory location 1 here, going for the forces of Xiphos. 2 as well. Kislev has taken number 3. The Bear doing a pretty good job holding it down there, I suppose. Heart of Winter going to be nice, but he would have to capture 3. And there you have it, Xiphos with the reverse sweep in the grand finals of today's tournament. What an amazing match between Void and Xiphos. So good. So good. Let's take a look at the breakdown and see who the big performers are. So Greater Demon kind of got shut down, dude. Cultist, the roadblock, and the halberds, like nothing in Xiphos' army got like crazy value except for the Khorne dogs, I suppose. But really the roadblocking play and that feign onto the objective 3 in the beginning was so good. Because it forced Kislev off that middle objective where they probably wanted a blob fight, right? That was a really good Khorne play. And Void's build was good too. I'm not a huge fan of the Bear, but it did pay for itself at least. I feel like the Bear sleds are just so much more cost effective. Seeing more heavy sleds could have been nice. And probably would have been much harder for Khorne to fight. But overall, that is going to be GG well played, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that one.